Okay, hi everyone. So let's start with Bitcoin. Month ended. We will look at the monthly chart as well, starting with 1 day. Uh, and what we see here is volume is rising. This is good. This is good. Price action is boring. Not just boring, but probably frustrating. As far as gain is concerned, there is nothing to be gained here and nothing to be lose because it's not making any new low. So, and sometimes BTC, like I personally don't trade BTC because there's nothing to trade about. I mean, you cannot make money with this kind of intraday move, right? The money is there with in some other coin like some active coins or some coins which I post on Navigator, right? So that's how it is because BTC is not making a move on the upside, not I would say not staying for long term and not able to make higher high. So it's more like flat or sometimes range bound. So that's the challenge. We refer BTC for totally different purpose. I personally refer because it is the guide for overall market. So as long it doesn't make any new low, the altcoin, especially low cap altcoin, they do very well. I notice especially on KuCoins, some of the coins I posted are doing really good, and not just good, some of them has actually broken the downtrend, which is amazing. um, and yeah, and in active list also some of the coins are making move. But yeah, here on opportunity channel we have most of the coins which are more aligned with BTC in terms of price action. And I would say they are like their behavior is different. Recently I posted an example in the academia. If you refer the pumping coin related points, and I shared my insight there, the how to handle pumping coin and why people often lose their money, right? So I try to capture a few important points with an example. You refer that. So we'll look into BTC definitely, but just wanted to share that BTC and associated coins behave differently. Their price action is different than a pumping coin, which typically make a vertical move and then goes down quickly or consolidates for longer time. So you refer the VGX example I gave. It's just like pumping coin more or less behave in a similar manner. So it requires very different handling and requires different mindset. Anyways, let's come back to BTC. So BTC now, uh, I would say it's making progress. So the way we see here is if we zoom into this one, this was the low. Now this was the most important day, I would say, after the June day, June when it made this low 17K low, right? So this was the second most important day. You may say this was also equally important, but this is more important because this was amazing move, and technically this is a double bottom from a larger pattern. I mean, this is also a double bottom for this particular piece of consolidation, but since it went up and came down, we are calling now the pattern is bigger, right? This was like a small arch. Now this is a bigger arch. So this is also a double bottom. If you want to call triple bottom, then you have to include this also, and then number goes on. So we'll try to keep it simple that this is a double bottom from this pattern point of view. Okay, so this is little bit of technical analysis aspect that I'll just touch base. So when you call this is if you take this consolidation, then this is the double bottom. Okay, when you take only this particular segment, then this is also a double bottom. When you take this one, then you're taking the entire thing, then you may say triple bottom, right? So here I'm not trying to go into what how we call out, but it's important to know that um this is also double bottom. When you put this is also double bottom, if you consider whole entire move, where what you're tracking is this, this is part of the whole entire thing, right? Where you are basically considering these highs, this high and this high, and thinking as a large, even bigger arch. Yeah. So in this case, this is even a biggest arch because this made a new low from all these lows, right? All these lows, this is the lowest point, and that's why this is the most important level at this moment after this point. So just a technical explanation here, right? Because this is a level where it could really break down, it could have gone down, but it didn't, right? So you can see that it survived here, it survived here, right? And of course it survived here, a big bust, I mean, sorry, big pump, and it went down. All this price action is good. Oh wow, I'm going to mute everyone. We are recording this. This the whole entire price action is driven by Fed's decision, and Fed's decision was driven by inflation, and of course the inflation data was driving the bond market and dollar, the forex market, and all that. So everything is associated, and anyway, all those factors basically um, did this push and pull kind of a thing, and that's why it's chaotic for a reason. So this was nice upside move. This was also nice, I mean, not desirable, but at least nice. No crazy stuff. This is not nice. This is totally chaotic, and that's why people find very challenging, because every time it pumps you think that it's going to escape this time, but then it dumps, and then so this is like second attempt, and in fact it's testing my patience as well, to be honest, because this is chaotic. This is more structured. When price goes down, I am not bothered, because then there is nice pattern. This is also nice pattern, though it's not desirable, but this is chaos. So utterly, this is like chaos, total chaos. Now, in fact, there is nothing much to do TA stuff when you see this particular segment, because there's nothing, there's no pattern, there is a range. That's why I put a box a long time before, maybe a week ago, um, a couple of weeks ago, maybe, because this is to be treated as black box. Black box means you don't care what is happening within. I used to actually make it invisible, just to demonstrate that how you should see that. So I used to make it very dark and like make it invisible, as if you don't know what is happening unless you see it. So it's like this. So the intention was, in that case, you track the upper edge and the lower edge. So if it comes out, that means it's positive. If it comes out on the upside, then it's positive. If it comes out from the downside, that means it's negative. And you won't believe, this kind of approach is so simple. It's common sense, actually, not even TA in my point of view, because the pattern that we're seeing currently for last few days or a couple of weeks, I would say, you don't need to do even TA. Here it's more about common sense and experience that we need to apply, in my opinion. Okay, only for current period of time, because it's going nowhere as far as BTC is concerned, right? That's why this kind of approach, you may try, actually. It's annoying, but I mean, just wanted to share. So I shared this point earlier as well. I'm bringing up again. It's important, but when you see, you get frustrated. So better not to see it. It doesn't mean you ignore it, right? What I mean is, don't carry away. uh, don't emotionally attach with this kind of movement, because it's not helping. right? However, there is one technical point that you have to see even in this one is that, okay, this was the low, and then this was the low, right? And hit the support again. And then again there's a low, but a higher low. And there are two rejections, like, but again, it's not making any new low. And this is how we should be telling ourselves that it's making higher lows from this particular segment point of view. And even from a higher level, if you zoom out, then you can say, okay, you know what, this is 17K, and this is little higher. This is a little higher. It's not great, but higher, still higher. And this is still higher. So it's not earning anything. However, as I said, BTC is to BTC is being tracked to see the overall health of the crypto market, because what we're concerned is not about BTC, especially I'm not, because BTC is not going to gain a lot. Even if it goes to 100K, it is 5x compared to any altcoin which may move in that case 10x or higher, or up to 100x. So there is absolutely no comparison. But BTC is important as far as its boundary is concerned, because if it makes new low, then those alts which we think could go 10x or 100x range could go down even at a greater pace. We know that. So that's why BTC is important. So in my book, BTC is not important for making money. It is important to understand the health. Anyway, that's my personal opinion. So we are tracking, I'm tracking for a different reason. Right. So come back to my earlier point that this is time for great patience. And another thing that you have to appreciate, which I mentioned on Twitter as well, for wider audience, and here multiple times on our platform, that you have to think about how much pressure from the inflation point of view. If you look at the latest data, latest US report yesterday went up, right? The inflation, the core, which went up, right? And earlier also it went up. And globally, the inflation is rising. We seen German data, and you name any country, it's up and up. And so much things on the bond market. Bond market is crashing. We had highlight many months ago before the Fed hike. If you see my Twitter, if you see my updates, I ran Capital Channel for a few months. Those who joined, those know that we detected this bond market move much before the December rate hike or QE and QE decision from Fed. It's because the chart tells everything, right? And so this is not new. For many months, this was happening. But the Fed's decision on stopping QE was the triggering point, which was late December. But up on Opportunity Channel, we were able to detect in November, actually. If you look at the BTC alert, my alert was in November and also in December, early December. So point is, the charts are our best friend. Our technical analysis is our best friend, because somehow, you won't believe, somehow we are able to find out before the market. And it's, I don't want to take credit, it's about technical analysis. Tomorrow, if you learn that, you will be doing the same. So I'm not going to say this is something I'm doing. No, it's about the method. It's about the particular, area where anyone who invests enough could figure it out. So we got this tool, we got this the information, and which is helping. And so that's why we should just take care of our emotion at this moment, in my opinion. In We cannot do anything about the market, but technical analysis is telling me that BTC is actually resilient, much more resilient than the stock market that we see. Even Apple went down badly recently, right? It was holding up well. So if Apple could go down despite of such a great earnings and great prospect, then imagine we cannot just we don't need to get frustrated. In my opinion, though frustration might come, but we don't need to carry away, in my opinion, because what BTC is doing is outstanding. We should actually appreciate what it's doing, right? It's holding up because it is the alts, other alts are doing well because BTC is holding up. So indirectly, the credit goes to BTC, right? So that's why I appreciate the way it is holding up. Um, it is not for making money, as I said, but I'm thankful in another way that it's not losing its low, right? So that's my thoughts. So we are tracking for very different reasons, and we are tracking very, very closely. Wow. So the summary is, we don't have to assume that it's going to break down. You won't believe I got so many messages and so many replies. I didn't I summarize for them because I feel that everybody, all of you came from Twitter, so I still believe that the contribution on Twitter should be continued. So that's why I summarized for them. Of course, not with this detail, but those who understand. Here you have opportunity to discuss and ask questions they don't have. But yeah, people are getting impatient at this moment, and I would say we have to just um, tackle this situation. It's challenging, but doable. So that's why I'm emphasizing an emotional aspect rather than price action here. Okay, let's zoom out and go weekly. Weekly we might not see much, but we should see. Hold on, we should see. Yeah, so this is still walking along the red line. On a daily, on a weekly, as you could see, yeah, marginally down, and now this is still on. So it's walking on this red line. So I would say I would just make this larger. Nothing wrong. Make it larger. You cannot talk about exact dollar. This is just a red line, is a trend line. It is for reference, not for exact dollar number. So this is definitely an edge we saw on the daily, but this on a weekly also. This is on edge on a lot from a larger pattern point of view, right? From a larger pattern point of view, if you look at this one, because we are tracking a long-term trend here, right? Which I mentioned in last week, that if this is broken, then we will see very low level, and that it could be up to 10K or it could go up to 6K. Of course, there can be 15K, 13K, 10K, like not directly to 10K, not necessarily, but and the downside potential would be huge because also it consolidated, right? This consolidation gave this leg on the downside. So if this breaks down, right, and so the whole entire energy from this consolidation would be applied in downside move like this, right? And then it could go down pretty deep, but we should be able to detect it. So right now there's no reason to assume, but as far as scenario is concerned, this is an edge case for sure. Nobody can say we are out of the woods. Okay, definitely not. But I would like to call this as a potential bottom for sure, right? There's no need to fear unnecessarily. We have to just be watchful on those key levels, and we'll be talking anyway, right? I mean, we'll be interacting if that happens. So yeah, this has to go up. I mean, I if 24K should be good enough, 24K should be good enough to get away. I mean, to move away from this level, and then we'll see. I don't mind how when BTC goes to this level. Timeline is not so important for me. What is important is it it doesn't consolidate here for longer and start making move and stay somewhere 24 to 27K level. This is the best level. 27K plus is the best level. Even 24K is good enough for me, right? So that's my least expectation at this moment. So I hope next week we see something positive, and then see. Over weekend, I doubt it if it makes a big move, because it is likely to wait for the capital market and its price action. So it maybe the BTC might be range bound until Monday morning, in my opinion. Monday morning, my time, so US time, when the US market opens. So futures might give some hint, but usually the spot market is where we get the price action. So that's where we get more data. Right. So nothing to worry, that's my say, but that's my summary. Nothing to worry, and but need to be watchful. Okay, as far as BTC is concerned, and so as long as BTC is flat, the alts could do well. Some of them might make a move. We'll see. So I think that's it on BTC. We'll see. I'll keep updating you on the BTC channel, right? And I'll start with the altcoin after this.